fellow diamond painting addicts, and welcome back to Diamond Painting Anonymous. I'm Daphne, and I'm here today with this week's WIP and Chat. If you're new here, welcome. If you're not new here, welcome back. WIP, W-I-P, stands for Work in Progress. This is what I'm going to be working on today. You are welcome and encouraged to go grab whatever you are working on and work along as I chat, or alternatively, you can treat this like a podcast. Either way, I'm happy to have you. If you don't already subscribe, please hit that subscribe button. Also, you can join my Facebook group. It is growing, and I'm super happy about that. You'll find the link for that down below. And you can follow me on Instagram if you have that and Facebook. If not, follow me in either place. I am at Diamond Painting Anonymous on Instagram. And yeah, so I think I have everything ready to go. I've got my canvas, my drills, I've got my pens, my tray, my pretty placer because this is a partial. I've got my notes, my timer, I've got a drink. Hopefully that's everything I need. I'm hiding out in here while my husband's watching some weird documentary. So let me get this a little bit situated, zoom in so you guys can see a little bit better, and I will be right back. Don't go anywhere. Okay, so let me just see where I want to start here. I think I'm going to start with number 3. So let me open that. Now, for my partials, those of you who are new here, I don't typically kit up my partials. I just pick a color and go. I'm going to do it a little bit differently today because I don't usually do these for my WIP and chats. So it's going to be slightly different than I would normally do it, but it's all good. I'm going to work on it. So I'm just going to grab these here and get started. Okay, so what do I want to talk about first? My life update, you guys. I think I'm done with PT. When I went to my last PT appointment, he was super busy and just a lot of things going on, a lot more patients in there than usual. And so the guy that is my regular therapist was not the one who kind of finished things up. And when I left, he said he'd see me on Monday, but I don't have an appointment for Monday, and that was my last appointment. So I'm gonna wait and see if he calls me to see if he thinks I need to continue coming back in for another few appointments or whatever. I am feeling much, much better. I feel like we figured out what the problem was, and I kind of know how to address it. I have exercises that I can do. I have things that I can do at home, not just the exercises, but tape and other things. I'm getting a brace for my elbow issues, and hopefully I'm good to go. I haven't been brave enough to try going all the way down a flight of stairs, but I did take some stairs at the post office the other day. Going up has not been as much as an issue going down. Apparently going down puts much more stress on the joint where I'm having problems. So, and he also gave me some like massages slash manipulations that I could do at home that would help with it too. And me going down the stairs at the post office was actually the first time I felt normal in a very, very long time. It didn't hurt. I felt like I didn't have to hang on to anything as I went down because I was afraid I was going to fall. So I feel like we found what the issue was, and now I can address it and start improving. So don't know if I'm going to be back in physical therapy for another couple of appointments, but at the very least, I feel like it definitely helped. Definitely feel like I've identified the problem, and now I can kind of get back to normal. Cross my fingers anyway. So there's that. And then, oh, you guys, it's been a weird week. So this month, we got another bill from the Port Authority from our trip to Maine and all of the tolls. So we had to pay another $15 and some odd cents in tolls. So hopefully that's the last bill that we'll be getting for that. But I keep hitting this with my sleeve. That's driving me crazy. But now I'm waiting to get another toll bill, but not from our main trip, from our trip when we had to go get our immigration physicals. Because I guess my state and a couple others are going to be moving to the cashless camera system so that you just drive under the bank of cameras. They take a picture of your license plate and they bill you based on that. So, not supposed to happen until 2024, but we did notice on our way to the immigration physicals, we passed several places where they were building the camera banks. And we didn't know at the time that that's what they were, because the signs telling you what they were only on the way back and not the way there, which seems weird, but whatever. Um, so yeah, so there's a couple places where they were already up and running, which I didn't know because we don't ever travel. We don't ever travel really to states that are near us. Usually, if we're traveling to Canada. So we're flying. We just go to the big city near us, and we fly out of there and go wherever we're going. So um, anyway, so yeah, be interesting to see what happens there. So speaking of our immigration physicals, I was talking to my son on one of our walks about, we've done the physicals, we've done this, we've done that. And I just said, oh, you know what? I think we're getting close to it. This is just hurry up and wait. I don't know if they're going to make us go do the biometrics or not, because again, we get conflicting information. The website, when you walk through all the steps of their questions, it tells me that we don't need them, but then they made us pay for them. So I don't know what's going on there. Um, and I don't know if they'll make us do an interview. Um, I mean, I would assume that that's a component, but I don't know if that's going to be something we have to travel up there for or something we have to travel to a certain place here in the States for. We haven't heard anything, so we don't know yet. Um, but other than those possible two things, I think that's all there is left for us to do, other than, wait for Canada to say yay or nay. So it was kind of scary, but also kind of a relief that we're this far into the application process. And I feel like I can kind of see the end of the tunnel, which that hasn't been how I felt for quite some time, because we've been talking about doing this for literally years and have just kind of gotten to the point where it's kind of feasible for us to do this. And um, also kind of getting to the point where whether, it's I think it's like having kids, you keep telling yourself, well, I want to wait till we're in a financial situation where we're ready for it. When the reality is that's never going to happen. You just kind of have to jump in. And we just finally, I think, got to the point where we were ready to do that. Um, a big part of that reason was his dad is not doing well. Um, and when you're talking about something like that, it's not like people get more time, right? We all have a finite amount of time and the clock is always ticking. And so, given my background with that, I want him to be able to spend any time that he wants to with his folks. So, that was kind of an impetus too. And there were other things, that ended up working out with my son being able to, um, transfer to this online program and do things that way and stuff like that. So, yeah, just a bunch of things. And then we were also talking on our walk. My son is going to hit the big 2-1 this year, which means that he's going to be legal to drink. Those of you who don't know, the legal drinking age in America is 21. Not that it matters, he's not a drinker, but you have a vertical license, driver's license, until you turn 21, and then it turns horizontal. So they used to do it with like different colored backgrounds and stuff, but then they changed the orientation because that was an easy way for people at clubs and bartenders and things to identify who was underage and wasn't. So because he's turning 21, normally you could renew ahead of time, but because he's turning 21 and the whole drinking age and everything, you can't renew it early. So he has to wait until he actually has his birthday and then he can renew it. So he was asking me, how long do I have to do this? Because essentially we have to wait for his license to expire. I don't know why that's relevant. He hardly ever leaves the house unless he's on foot anyway. So, but we do want to keep his license current. And so I went and looked it up, and he has 45 days from the time of his birthday to get it done. Of course, we'll go in way before then and get it finished, but it's just, some of those things I didn't think about. Like I knew he was turning 21, but I wasn't thinking about the driver's license and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, so we were talking about all of that, talking about our Canada stuff, and then we my husband was going through his YouTube, and he saw on his YouTube that there was a thing that Canada is going to be streamlining their application process for permanent residency. Um, I don't know, because they don't have enough people. I know there have been lots of problems up there with people getting passports and stuff, which I don't understand, but I'm not up there, so whatever. Um, but uh, where's number 10? Okay, here's number 10. Anyway, they're going to be streamlining their process, and so they were apparently going to be changing it. Sorry, that's my phone. Going to be changing it so that the entire application could be done online. Right now, I think only certain things, that visas and things that you qualify for, can be done online. You still had to mail in everything else. So that's going to be done online. They're going to have virtual interviews, which I'm hoping if we have to do an interview, we will be able to take advantage of that. And they're no longer going to require medical exams. And I'm like, of course. So, of course, right after we've done all that and paid all that money, they changed it, which, it is what it is. There's nothing I can do about that. But yeah, it was just kind of frustrating after we've jumped through all of these hoops. And then they're like, oh, see these hoops that you jumped through? We're going to remove them for everyone else. It's like, dang it. But we had our reasons for applying when we did. And I'm actually glad, that we're already so far kind of into the process. So it's all good. That's all the number 10s. Why did I open that one? I should have opened something that I had more to do. I think I'll open some 7s now. Where's number 7? This one. Okay. Oh, and in addition to all of my physical therapy and the taping and all that kind of stuff, the other thing that I did for my hip was I ordered an adjustable height desk. So it's one of those desks where you can sit, stand, you can move it anywhere in between, and that is going to be my crafting desk. Now, I did have a drafting table, and I know that a lot of people swear by them because they tilt, and that was why I got it. But quite honestly, for me personally, I ended up diamond painting way more often on the dining room table anyway, just because the desk was so small, and because I bought one where the entire top tipped. I didn't have a place to set like my drills and my trays and my pins and all the extra stuff that goes along with diamond painting. And so I very rarely had it tipped anyway. And then because you have it tipped, it's got that bar at the bottom to kind of hold things. And so that was constantly in my way. And I just ended up not using it. I had to have another tray beside me, which took up more space. And so I was just like, I need a different solution. So then when we had all these issues with my hip, and I saw that maybe the adjustable height desk would be a good option for me, we went out and started looking. Now I was just going to get a hand crank one, because for me, one, then I could kind of adjust it anywhere that I wanted, and it was just a crank. So there wouldn't be anything electronic, because for me, you know, that's less things to break. I wouldn't need to have it plugged in all the time, blah, blah, blah. But my husband talked me into getting this electronic one. He's like, it'll be so much easier. You can just do it this way, blah, blah. So we did that. And I think I told you in a previous WIP and chat that it came in 2 pieces. So we got the legs and everything delivered on one day, but not the top. And so we contacted them, and they said, yeah, it's just so large that the top gets shipped separately. So you should get the top of it in a couple of days. Okay. So we did get it in a couple of days. It did arrive. My husband put it together for me yesterday. And while I'm still not overly thrilled that it's electronic, because to me, I just feel like that's something that's going to break at some point, but it is a nice table. And we purposely spent a little bit extra and got one that is the top of the table is 60 by 30. That is the biggest I could find. And the reason that I wanted it that big is because I wanted something, I do so many large paintings and I don't like having to roll mine up or having them hanging off the edge of the table. I just feel like, I don't know, I just personally don't like that. I know it doesn't hurt anything. I have had, like when I was doing my big, huge Randall Spangler one, the Firefly one, it was so big, even with my dining room table, it hung off the end. So, but I don't like doing it that way, and I didn't want to roll it up until I was finished with it. And so, just personal preference, I wanted the biggest table that I could get. So I had room to, put my big diamond paintings on there and have them completely on the table and not hanging over the edges and stuff. And again, that's my personal preference. I know plenty of people do not have that kind of room, and that's great. You do you. You don't mind rolling it up, you don't mind having it hanging over the edge. I just don't like that. So, it's a 60 by 30 top, and it's almost double the size of the drafting table that I had, which seems ridiculous because it's in my living room. But my husband and I like to spend as much time as we can together because he is he works really long days. He works 10-hour days. He leaves right now because of how far he has to drive. He leaves at 5:15 in the morning and he doesn't get home until 5:30 at night. So, that's 12 hours he's gone every day. And then when you talk about, we spend time sleeping, that doesn't leave us a whole lot of time to spend together. So on the weekends, while he's watching football or whatever he's doing, I like to be out there with him diamond painting so that I can be doing my crafting stuff, but we're still in the same room and we're still getting to spend some time together. Um, Even if it's just that we're sitting next to each other. That's something we want to invest in. So got the table, got it all set up. Took us a while to figure out because you can program heights. So, but the good thing about it is my dining room table is just a bit too low for where I am comfortable so that I'm not constantly kind of hunched over when I'm crafting. And I have a desk chair that I can raise and lower the height. And so I've been able to adjust it, good enough for that, but just not as comfortable as I could be. And now that I have this adjustable height desk, I can kind of put it anywhere that I want to and make it so it's comfortable. So I've got it where it's comfortable for me to sit, and then I've got a comfortable height for me to stand so I can stand while I work, because what I need is to be able to move between those two easily, even when I'm spending quite a bit of time diamond painting to help with my hip issues. So, and as soon as we got it all put together, my son is like, "So you're going to move off the dining room table now?" And I'm like, "Well, yes, as soon as," because I have so many things piled up. I've got my Heaven and Earth design canvas. I've got my Drills and Chills canvas, plus all the stuff that I'm doing for my challenge on the dining room table, the thing I'm actively working on the dining room table. And then I have a bunch of stuff like kits that I've already put together and are ready to go on the drafting table. So there's a bunch of stuff laying over there, and I've got books, canvases under books because they're being flattened out and things like that. And I'm like, I got to get through this challenge first, and then I'll rearrange everything and I will, move off the dining room table. And my son was like, well, I'll believe it when I see it. I'm like, no, that was the whole plan. That was the whole point behind buying this table. So it is going to happen. It just may not happen this week. Uh, so anyway, but I'm excited for it. So I cross my fingers that it works the way that I need it to for my hip and I can get back to where I was before all this started over a year ago. So, okay. So then, oh, you guys, been a busy week. So my husband and I ordered the new iPhones. He got the Pro and I got he got the regular one and I got the Pro. And he got red and I got purple. And he got his delivered like a week before I did. He gets his, he opens it immediately, gets it set up, he's ready to go. And we're doing a trade-in thing where we have to turn in our phones and all that stuff, so he got all that done. We get my phone and I pull it out of the box and open the Apple box and turn it over to see the purple, and there is a big chunk of purple missing off the back of it. Not like it's scratched, but like somehow the paint flaked off during the manufacturing process and then they sealed over it anyway. So I don't know what their quality control is like, but obviously this one slipped through. And so I'm like, I don't want this one. We purposely bought clear cases so that we'd be able to see the colors. And I'm like, this phone is messed up. I want one that isn't messed up. So my husband gets online and he's chatting online with our carrier and, oh, well, you've got to do this and it's going to be 2 weeks before we can get it to you because, of course, the purple is a popular color and blah, blah, blah. And actually, it wasn't even going to be 2 weeks. I think it was going to be like the middle of October before they could get one to me. And I knew that. I knew that the purple was a popular color. And so I had just told my husband, it's fine. I mean, I have a phone I can use. It's not the end of the world that it's going to, I'd rather wait and get what I want than have one that's messed up. So he's chit-chatting, online with this person through our carrier or whatever. And I said, why don't you just call the carrier store? Like in the big town that's close to us, there are several stores. Can we not just take it into the store and exchange it? So while he's on the computer with this other person, he calls and he doesn't get the store, but he gets like the national call center or whatever. And they're like, oh yeah, just take it to a corporate store, which happens to be the store that's closest to us, and take it in and they should be able to just do an exchange. And then you can just do everything else the way that you were going to do it. Okay, great. Well, we go in, drive into town because we only have like an hour and a half before they close, and get in there, and they don't have one that they can do a swap straight across because mine had, I think he said, 128 gigs of storage, and they didn't have a purple 128. They had a purple 256, but because it wasn't a straight across swap, we had to pay a quote unquote restock fee. And I'm like, that's ridiculous because it's not my fault they don't have the 128 in stock, right? Plus, it changed the price. Instead of the monthly fee that I was going to be paying for mine. My husband's was free because he just got the 14, but because I got the Pro, we were going to be paying, I think like $5 a month or something. And so getting the larger sized storage option was going to make it a little bit more expensive, which I wasn't thrilled about, but I was like, okay, let's whatever. My husband was like, just get it, then you can have it now, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, fine. So he gets the phone, we get in the car and we go home. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm not going to set it up tonight because literally it was by the time we got home, it was time for us. We hadn't even eaten dinner. We had a quick dinner and then it was time to get ready for bed. So we get in bed and I go to send my daughter a text just to say goodnight and it won't go through. And I'm like, what is going on? So we do some checking. Well, apparently just the act of us going into the store, instead of letting me transfer everything on my own, my carrier basically shut off my cellular access on my current phone. And so I had to activate the new one. So I ended up staying up like 2 hours later than my usual bedtime to activate my phone, all just because I wanted to send my daughter a text, which in the scheme of things is not a big deal. But it was like, I feel like they should wait for me to say, okay, I'm ready to do the transfer now. And just instead of just shutting off my access, it was just weird. So it's all done now. It's all good. But it was just at the time, I was like, ugh, why are you guys making this so difficult? I mean, yes, I understand if someone buys a new phone, they probably do want to use it pretty quickly, but I guess I'm just always the exception to the rule. And we were going to be going to bed and I didn't want to do it that night. But anyway, so now it's done. So whatever. So yeah, it was a busy week. My daughter started her new job this week. She's actually really happy with it. So I'm super excited that she's happy with it. That makes me happy because she wasn't sure going into it. She's worked with special needs kids before, but her last job working with special needs kids, she was in a classroom where they were very physical. They had some kids that were very physical and just had a lot of issues that she was uncomfortable with and didn't want to be, the person responsible for that. This situation that she's in now is very, very different. And so she's actually really, really happy with it. She has made some new friends with her coworkers already. And so I'm really happy for her that she seems to be much happier where she is now. So that's amazing. So, yeah. So at this point, things are going good. We are waiting to see whether or not my husband is going to get called for hurricane work. I don't know how many of you are following it, but Hurricane Fiona, after it um, hit the Caribbean, it traveled up the Atlantic and has hit Nova Scotia and parts of the Maritimes. It's not anywhere close to where my husband's family is, but he's just been keeping an eye on it. And of course, there's also a new hurricane apparently developing off the coast of Florida. They've already sent out calls for linemen to head that direction to be ready when it makes landfall. They don't know yet when it's going to make landfall. I think they were saying Wednesday, but now they've changed it to Thursday or Friday. So he's, just kind of getting prepared whether or not they're going to get called. I don't even know if they'll be able to go down there. They're in the middle of a big job, and it may be that whatever job they're on doesn't want to release them to go do the hurricane work. So we'll see what happens. They actually already had somebody in one of their crews leave to take a job with somebody that's going to be going down to Florida. So we'll see what happens because my husband, that one person left, and then he had um, a couple of the other people that are on his particular crew are leaving for other reasons to go to other jobs. And so he doesn't have a crew. So I don't really know what he's doing for work on Monday, but they told him he'd have new people for his crew by Tuesday. So we'll see what happens. But I got to watch all my work stuff because he's ready to pack a bag and go whenever they call. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. He enjoys doing the storm work. And the money's nice, but it's not my favorite thing when he travels. I like having him home. I don't ever sleep well when he's gone. So we'll see what happens. But anyway, so that's my life update. That's what's going on in my life. I hope everything is going well in yours. So on to diamond painting stuff. So as many of you know, I'm in the middle of my September challenge. I'm trying to do 30 by 30s in 30 days. Now, I originally thought this would be kind of a cakewalk. I was kind of wrong. Because even though I'm not working, I still have lots of other things to do. PT has taken up a bunch of my time that I hadn't accounted for. Um, I do still have a household to run. I have to do things like laundry and errands and, all that kind of stuff, cleaning and whatnot. And plus, because of the issues with my elbow and stuff, I just haven't been able to diamond paint very long sessions like I normally would to try and get ahead. And this is actually going to be the last partial that I do for the challenge. I allotted myself 10, and this is number 10 because I thought that would be plenty for me to keep going. But doing the full drill ones has taken more time than I anticipated. And again, with my elbow issues, just haven't been able to diamond paint for as much as I would like. And so, yeah, it's just been kind of, so I think I'm going to make it. I mean, I'm pretty sure I'm going to make it. It's just, I'm definitely going to have to spend quite a bit more time this last week working on things than I had expected. I was in the back of my mind hoping that I'd be able to finish enough that I could sneak in some work on my drills and chills canvas and things, and I don't think that's going to happen. But we'll see. Maybe I'll get lucky and some of them will go faster than I think and I can get done. But pretty much after this one, all I have left is full drills, and given that those are taking anywhere between 4 and 6 hours, depending on how much multi-placing there is, I don't know if I'm going to finish more than that. Because in addition to trying to fit in some work on drills and chills, I was also hoping that I would be able to fit in some work on more than 30 of these. I'm hoping with the new table that that will help with some of my tendonitis elbow issues. So maybe even if I don't get started on my drills and chills until October 1st, that I can make some pretty good progress knowing that my elbow is doing okay. And I've come to the realization it's just I have too many projects I want to do. I want to do my drills and chills. I want to finish that heaven and earth design that I started. And then if I manage to finish at least one of those in October, then in November, my DP for vets will start. So I will be busy with that. And yeah, I just have so many projects and things that I want to do that we'll see. I'm hoping this challenge will meet several goals for me. I know that doing this challenge is going to meet my finish goal. My goal for the year was 50 finishes. I'm going to have hopefully 30 just this month. So combined with what I already have, that's definitely going to meet that goal. I don't know if I'm going to meet my DP hours goal, but that's okay. I've already blown the budget. So we'll see. I want to order from some new to me companies, but I need like 7 new companies. And I was going to order a bunch of like inexpensive diamond paintings, but it just ended up not being worth it because, I'm going to spend $5 for a diamond painting and then I'm going to spend twice that amount in shipping for them to send me one diamond painting. And so that just seemed counterproductive. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to do like a small shop Etsy haul kind of thing. I'm going to go out to Etsy and I'm going to find just some cool diamond painting accessories and things that I've not tried. Um, I might treat myself to a new French pen, but maybe not. No, I shouldn't do that because that's not a new to me company. I might treat myself to some other company's pens though. I'll have to see if I can find something I like. But there's all kinds of stuff out there. People make cover minders, trays. What else was I looking at? Tips. I mean, there's all kinds of things that I could get from companies that are new to me. So I might be buying, a tray or whatever. I have tons of trays. Still looking for that elusive one that works the best for me. I really like the Bella trays, but I just am finding that they don't line up as nicely for me. Like this particular tray here. If I shake this and they line up pretty nicely and pretty evenly for me to multi-place. With the Bella trays, I find myself kind of having to do this and kind of get them lined up on one edge, which is not a big deal. And I love the way the Bella trays work with their pour spouts and everything. So it's just that extra step. And, if I tap it too hard, then they fall out of the ridges. And so yeah, still looking for that elusive perfect for me tray. So I may order some more trays. I found a couple of cute cover minders that I think I'm going to order. But anyway, so if there's an Etsy shop out there that you guys think I should try, it could even be a diamond painting, a company that sells diamond paintings. Um, but I want it to be one that I haven't tried before. So if you have a small shop that you think I should try something, leave a comment down below and I will go check it out, because I think that's what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go to Etsy and I'm going to order from like 7 different places and just try out some new stuff and see what happens. And that way I get to, help out and support a small shop, and I get some stuff that I can try and that you guys get to see. Maybe I'll find something really cool. So yeah, leave me a comment down below if you have an Etsy shop, or an Etsy shop that you think is diamond painting related, that would have some cool stuff that we should check out. Yeah, do that. So for that one, I think that's what I'm going to do. Also, you guys, okay, so I have some ideas for some stuff and I want to do some experimenting with some release papers that I can print on. But all of my release papers are double-sided, so I can't print on them because all the ink would just slide right off. So I know I've seen release papers that are only non-stick on one side, but for the life of me, I cannot find them. I don't know if they're called something besides release papers, but I cannot find them. So if you happen to know what they are called, please let me know, because I have some experimenting that I would like to do, but I can't locate them. Like, I feel like, what was I looking for the other day? I was looking for something and I can't remember what it was, but I was looking for something and it was like I could describe it. My husband knew what I was talking about, but we didn't know what the actual name of the product was. And then once we figured out, like I finally found the name of it, it was like, oh, like when I was searching for Harbor Freight boxes, like originally I just went to the Harbor Freight store and I found them. But then when I wanted to go order them online, I was looking for a link to them to send to somebody, and they're not just called Harbor Freight boxes, of course. If you say that in the diamond painting community, everybody knows what you mean, but to actually find them on the Harbor Freight site, it's like the 25-part box or something like that. It's got a specific name, and you can't just search for storage box on Harbor Freight because it brings you too many things and it took forever. Anyway, so if you know what they're called, let me know. Ones that are only sticky on one side, because all the ones that I can find are double-sided and that's not what I need. So, and I just thought of something else to tell you. Oh, my Xyron sticker maker. So, speaking of things that seem crazy, one, Xyrons have been unavailable. The refills have been unavailable for the removable, repositionable refills. And they had them on Amazon, but the person selling them wanted like 30 bucks. Now, these things are only um like $7.29 or something if you buy them direct from Xyron. And so I thought, okay, I don't know what's going on here, but I'm not paying $30 for something that I could get for 8 from the manufacturer. Now, so I went to Xyron and look, Xyron was sold out. Okay. Well, it came up on my Amazon when I was getting something else that they were back in stock, and it was only $8 again. And so I thought, oh, has Xyron, restocked or whatever? So I go to the Xyron website, and yes, they had them available, but they would let you buy them. It no longer showed as out of stock, but it did say that they would not be available for shipping until like mid-December. And so I thought, well, that's weird, but okay, that would be better than paying $29 or whatever on Amazon. So I go through and I put a couple of them in my cart thinking, well, I'll just get them from Xyron. And then I had to put in my zip code so that it would calculate the shipping. And they wanted $16 in shipping. I'm like, I'm only paying $16 for the items. So I'm going to pay that again in shipping. And there's no way shipping it to me from somewhere in America that it's costing them to send me those little things $16. That's nuts. So then I went back on Amazon and I was like, okay, let me look at this. Well, it was the same price as what was on the Xyron site, and this person only wanted like $3 for shipping. So I was like, well, guess I'm buying it here because that's going to be cheaper than paying the whatever amount of dollars on Amazon. It's just crazy how, different places have different prices and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, I now have a replacement one being sent to me, and I just put my refill in it, so it should last for quite a while. So all should be good. But yeah, shipping is sometimes just crazy. Okay, so let me find what color do I want to do here. I think I'll do number 8. The last thing that I wanted to talk about was, you guys, I don't know if I'm going to make my Big 10 goal. So for those of you who don't know, one of my goals for this year was to do what I'm calling my Big 10. And that basically was a diamond painting from what I'm calling the premier diamond painting companies, which are places like Diamond Art Club and Craftably and those kind of places. Places that license their artwork, basically. And I had 9 picked out with a 10th one. So I picked the 10th one. However, I have 4 left. I've only done 6 so far, and I need to do 4 more. One of those is a Heaven and Earth design, which I have out, but I don't know how long it's going to take me to finish because I'm going to be doing my drills and chills and then DP for vets starts. So I don't know if I'll be able to work that one and get it finished in between all of that. So that's I don't know. I still need to do a Craftably, which I think for that one, I'm going to be doing my koala. That was my new release that I finally got that I unboxed. So I can do that one. I have it Distracted by Diamonds. I have it purchased. I just haven't unboxed it yet. So I can do those. And I think I can finish the Craftably and the Distracted by Diamonds by the end of the year. Don't know if I could finish the Heaven and Earth by the end of the year. And then I still need to pick a 10th company, buy the canvas, and finish it, because my original intention was to have my last company be Diamond Painting Deutschland. But the kit that I have left from them is so large that I'm going to save it for 2023 for a big, basically like a big sucker canvas event for 2023, because it's huge. It's about the same size as my Diana from Diamond Painting Deutschland, and I just am like, I don't know if I want to. Well, I know I don't want to get something that big started towards the end of the year because there's no way I'll get it done. And so I need to find a different company, but I still need to order something from whatever company is that I decide on, and I haven't done that yet. So I got to get my rear end in gear for that too. Because every time I turn around, somebody's having a lockdown, there's shipping issues, and, who knows what things will be like in another month. So I really do need to get something ordered. I just haven't done it yet because I really want to meet that goal. I'm already not going to meet the budget one, and I'm afraid I'm not going to make my diamond painting hours. So I would really like to meet the other goals if I can, because yeah, I just want to. So we'll see. So cross your fingers that I can figure it out and get something and get it done in time to finish that goal. And again, if you have any ideas for small Etsy shops that do diamond painting supplies that you think I would be interested in, leave me the name of the store down below in a comment. And I think I'm gonna, how long did that take me? Yeah, I think I'm gonna call that good there. I made a nice start on this. I'm gonna go move some things around and hopefully move this to my new table so that I can be crafting at the new table. So let me zoom out a bit here and so you guys can see what I got done, which wasn't a whole lot, but these partials don't take a horrible amount of time. So hopefully I'll finish this one today and maybe even move on to a full round one, which is all that I have left for the challenge, and I'll be good to go. Again, make sure you're following me on Facebook and or Instagram. I am posting daily in the Facebook group and on my Instagram page with start pictures of everything for each day and then finish pictures when I finish. I think I missed one day where I forgot to post a finished picture, but I think I've done good other than that. So yeah, follow me over there, do all the things. And yeah, thanks for joining me today, guys. Before you leave here, don't forget to do all the things. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and hit that bell notification icon so that you can be informed of future uploads. And as always, guys, thanks so much for watching.